tell me about the sports bar experience because, like I don't drink and I don't follow sports, so.
Okay. So this is what happened. I've been to this place before. It's just Rudy's, okay? They
Uh,
have pretty decent burgers, pretty decent wings, but they have this dessert that I really like. It's like a chocolate cake with ice cream.
uh-huh.
It you can't really fuck it up. It's just chocolate cake and ice cream. It's just good.
Sounds good.
But so I was like, my friend tells me, I'm gonna be at that place for a bit. So I'm like, I didn't really want to go in the first place
Yeah.
because like I know it's gonna be like a little expensive.
Mm,
So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch the game at home. But my mom wasn't feeling well, so I couldn't watch it on TV. So I was like, all right, I'll go to this place. But I've never been to a sports bar with the actual intention of watching sports.
yeah.
So this was the first time.
Hmm.
So I get down there, and I get a seat on the bar counter because that's where there's like the most screens. And I see the basketball, the like one of the hottest games of the week. It's like on the fucking tiny screen, and there's like two huge screens with ice hockey. I'm like, what, dude? In California? Are you kidding me?
That
I'm
doesn't.
like,
Yeah, right. It's
so I'm
not
like,
Canada.
dude, I'm like, what the fuck? I tell the girl like, hey, can you put basketball on the big screen? She's like, oh, I got people like that asked me to put the hockey on both screens. I'm like,
Mm.
what? There's more than one person in this bar that asked you to watch a hockey game? That can't be right.
Uh-huh.
So I'm sitting down, and the game started, right? So it's like 2 minutes in. I get a beer, and I didn't even look at the prices. I just got a beer because I'm at the bar.
Yeah.
And the game started. I'm watching it on this like screen. I can barely see who's got the ball.
Uh-huh.
And then like one of the games goes on like halftime or something, and she's like, "Is this game over?" I'm like, I don't know. I don't watch hockey. What the fuck?" So she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna just switch it." So she puts basketball on the big screen. I'm like, "Okay, finally." So
Uh-huh.
I can see the game. I'm enjoying the game. But it's like this games, the basketball games are like at least an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Mm.
So I'm like, I'm gonna be 2 hours at the bar. If I just get like one beer and I drink it in 2 hours, by the bottom half it's gonna taste like shit. And then these guys are gonna think that I'm cheap as fuck because I haven't ordered anything and it's been like 2 hours. So I'm
Uh-huh.
like, I'm just sitting there, and then I meet my friend. We're talking a little bit, but mind you, I'm trying to watch the game. So she's talking to me, and I'm trying to watch the game. Also drinking my beer. So
Uh-huh.
this is a completely new experience for me.
Mm.
So after a while, she's like, you know what, I'm just gonna go. I'm like, you know what, I'm sorry. I probably wasn't paying too much attention because I'm watching the game. She's like, no, don't worry about it. So she just leaves, and then it's just me, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I'm just watching. The game is going on. I have been talking about the game with my friend for a while, so like people around me can overhear. I want to watch the basketball game.
Yeah.
And there and one of the tiny screens, there's like a UFC promo running over and over for
Mm-hmm.
like McGregor or whatever his name is. Like the guy
Mm.
that's like undefeated or something like that, like the Irish guy.
Yep.
I've seen some videos about him recently. He's gone around social media and stuff. But then I'm not watching that, right? I've seen that on the commercial breaks. I'm watching the basketball game. I'm drinking my beer, and this guy just like slaps me on the arm, and he's like, "Yo, yo, yo! Look at that fight! Look at that fight on the other screen." So I'm confused. I'm like, do people just like do this at bars? That's just a little weird. Like he just touched me, and he's like, "Yo, look at that other thing that you're not looking at."
Mm.
I'm like, what? So I look and I'm like, yeah, I know of him. He's like, oh, dude, I bet you he's gonna come back from that fight and kick the other guy's ass. I'm like, all right, dude, I am not interested in that thing. So I keep watching basketball, right?
Uh.
And then he's like 2 minutes later, he's like, does he fight on Saturday, dude? Do you know? I'm like, what? I don't fucking know, dude. I'm not watching that. So it's like it was just the most bizarre thing. The guy was just talking to me like if I had expressed interest in this guy's fight.
Uh.
And he's like, "Oh, dude, he's totally gonna fight on Saturday, dude. I can't believe he's just fighting now. Like he's gonna fight on Saturday." I'm like, "I don't give a fuck. I just want to tell this guy, I don't give a fuck. I'm not interested in this guy. So please leave me alone. Like what is?" And this is a dude. Like if I was a girl, I would understand. If he was trying to hit on on a girl
Yeah, I
or
was gonna
something.
say. So did you go home with him or what?
I'm like, no, like, it was just fucking weird. Like the guy just out of nowhere. So I'm like, what? No.
Oh man.
So and then I'm just watching the game, and then it goes into halftime. So I chug my beer down to have something to do at least.
Mhm.
Then I get another one, and it's like at this point I'm thinking, you know, $7 a beer. I can't get another one because it's gonna be like a lot of money.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, you know what? I'm really craving that chocolate cake thing.
Mm.
So I get the chocolate cake, and you know they gave me the beer first, and then I get a Coke because I like to drink beer with something sweet, or so I don't get the aftertaste. I don't like
Mhm.
the actual taste of beer too much. So I'm drinking that, and then it's the third quarter comes in. I'm watching the game. You know, it's great. It's great. And then the guy brings me the plate with the chocolate cake and ice cream, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, sweet. So I'm eating this. It's delicious. And then I'm just, you know, the game basically ends, and it's like great game. The Warriors win. I'm happy. And then the guy brings me like the bill, or
Yeah.
like I ask him for the bill, and he just brings me the bill, and he's like, "Hey man, I hope you feel better or something." I'm like, "What?" Then I realized I was at the sports bar by myself for like 2 hours and a half. I had 2 beers and dessert, so that's probably you know, red flags or something. That I guess he thought I was,
Oh my
you know,
god.
going through something, or I was just feeling bad.
You're like,
And then
no, this is just the way I look. Like, I don't.
I haven't shaved in like a month, so you know I can see. It looks like I'm, you know, unkept, or I'm just like, you know, disregarding myself. So I was like, wow. So I see the bill. I'm like $30, or it's 25, and then you know plus $5 tip. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? $30, dude?
Maybe they was
I've been here
like,
2 hours.
maybe he was like preemptively consoling you for the bill. He was
Oh,
like, look, I hope you feel better because this bill sucks.
this bill is not gonna help. Yeah, right.
This bill's gonna be a rough ride, so I hope you get
I
through it.
mean, shoot, dude. Like, I could have watched the same game at home without spending a fucking dime. Honestly,
Mhm.
that's what it came up with. It was not a good experience. Probably won't do that again by myself at least. It's just really sad overall, dude.
Oh man.
And like going to a sports bar on the weekday is kind of weird.
Uh.
So, because I was there like 7:30, and there's like people that get off work, they'll go there, they'll grab a few beers, and then they leave. So
Mm.
by the time the game was over, it was 9:30. It was like me and like two, like the guy next to me was still there, just didn't talk to me. There was
Mhm.
another girl who had like I don't know how many glasses in like at the bar section, like in front of her.
Mhm.
She's like I don't know, at least 10 glasses. So I'm like, what the fuck? And then there was like two more guys and the whole bar. Like it was
Mm.
just basically nobody because it's a Thursday night, you know. So nobody who really cares, or nobody goes to the bar at Thursday night to get wasted. So it was just an overall awkward experience that I probably won't do again.